Here we have the 4-hour price chart for NIO Incorporated, stock ticker NIO. As we can see here, we're starting to show some reversals, some reversal signals on these shorter term time frames. I wouldn't really call the 4-hour price chart a shorter term time frame. We would probably need to change the chart history here in order to see this uh, how exactly this is unfolding over the shorter term time frames. But on this time frame, we are seeing a bit of a morning star reversal pattern here. This really occurs when you see a kind of a decisive, long-bodied bearish candle, red candle, followed by a period of indecision. That would be a candle with maybe long wicks, but a very small body. And then this would be followed by another green candle that does have a very long body. So as we can see, it's kind of a turnaround point here. You've got a lot of selling pressure, a period of indecision in the market, kind of sideways trading, and then another period of highly bullish activity. And then in this case, we actually broke above the prior highs from the prior trading periods. So this would qualify as a morning star pattern, and that is a bullish reversal pattern. And then as we can see here, this does come in kind of an interesting area because this does really work against, this downtrend line that we've been watching in some of the prior videos. So, overall, we've really been looking a lot at this downtrend line here, this kind of white line here. Um, and this downtrend would have started in the middle of May 15, when prices were trading just above $6 per share. And then we did start to see a series of lower highs and some higher lows as well. And then this kind of formed a bit of a descending triangle pattern here too, as we can see, because there is kind of a flat base here, a support zone that did develop. But then ultimately we broke this area to the top side. And this is a daily close. This is not a daily chart, but if we were to pull out to the daily chart, this would show that prices closed for the day on a daily basis above this trend line. So that is significant. It does really kind of call an end to this prior downtrend. And it does suggest that now we're in a position where it will be much easier to start breaking to new highs above this $6 level. So overall, here the thesis is really that we're trying to form a base here. The stock is obviously, everybody that follows the stock knows, this stock has been caught in a major downtrend for a long period of time. This has caught a lot of traders in vulnerable positions here. It's not abnormal for people trading the stock to be caught in a difficult position here. It's been a very difficult stock to trade. And then there were some financial YouTubers that were kind of touting the stock or trying to be encouraging about the stock really at upper levels. And it really did kind of draw a lot of people into the market, earlier than it really should have occurred. So, what we're really looking for here is a basing, sort of an end to this declining period here. And most of our thesis here, most of our argument rests on the fact that, we've got very little, distance here that can be seen to the downside. If we compare the possible downside with the possible upside, there really isn't much comparison. You're looking at a couple of dollars possibly to the downside, and then several 100% gains in potential to the top side. So, it's a very stark difference. And as far as the risk to reward ratio is concerned, you really can't find, many better stocks as far as that type of metric is concerned. So, but what we really do need to see here is for the stock to base. I mean, these declines have to end in order for us to start capturing those gains. So, the first signs here are starting to develop. We're currently trading above most of the exponential moving average cluster. We're not quite, completely there yet. We still have this blue line here, which is the 200 period exponential moving average. But as we can see, we have broken above all of the other three EMAs on this chart. So that would be the yellow line 20 period, orange line 50 period, and purple line would be the 100 period exponential moving average. So we just kind of have one more to go here. But overall, the price patterns themselves do seem to be a bit more important. We don't have a lot of historical resistance in the area where this moving average rests. So I'm not, I'm not really believing that we're going to start to see, major failures as prices move into this blue line here. It's possible that it could happen, but I'm just not seeing other pieces of evidence which suggest that. Maybe if you saw a major area of historical resistance in that area, then I would be more inclined to believe that. But we're not really seeing anything like that. I mean, this is kind of free floating here on its own. So it might not be, on its own, it might not be enough to contain upside pressure if we do see, continued movement here to the top side. So, other pieces of evidence that we can kind of look at here would be the indicator reading and the RSI. That's the purple line down here. And here we can see that, we do have some upside momentum in share prices that has been developing for quite a while. And this is really kind of part of the argument for why we think that we're basing at current levels. This really started, this upward trend momentum here really started the middle of April 15th. And this does coincide with the long-term lows for the stock. This would have posted around when the stock was trading around $3.80. So, we did see about 20 cents further in declines from there, but 20 cents is not very much. So this really is roughly near the bottom, the long-term lows, the all-time lows for the stock. So, it is an encouraging element here or factor. And it does suggest that, a turnaround is starting to build. In addition to that, we can see that this downward sloping white line here has broken. So what we really have here is like an attempt to kind of reinvigorate the broader downtrend. And you can see situations like that. It's definitely possible. But as we can see here, this area has broken. It's no longer valid. And we're not seeing that same level of momentum in the market. The trend is just not there. So, overall, the argument really, what we really need to see happen here, um, we've got a daily close now above this trend line. So that means that this descending triangle pattern has broken. We are trading above the exponential moving average cluster for the most part. We still have this 200 period EMA here, which comes in at just below 520. And we're currently trading at 490. So, we could see a little bit of resistance here, about 30 cents away. But as I said, there's no historical resistance in that area. So I wouldn't really expect it to contain prices to the downside. And then from there, what we really need to start seeing is a series of higher highs, because we already have the higher lows that are starting to base here. So, the prior high came in at $6.01, just above $6. So if we can see a break above that region, I would start to expect to see prices climb into, roughly the 680 area before we start to see some sideways consolidation or maybe some corrective pullbacks. But as long as these developments continue to unfold, it is still looking like we're seeing a bottom in place. So we will continue to watch this and continue to determine whether or not that actually turns out to be the case longer term. Here's the current market update for NIO Incorporated, stock ticker and NIO.